You say love hurts, but that's not the truth. Love doesn't hurt. What hurts is everything we attach to it. The silence after connection, the withdrawal after vulnerability, the betrayal after trust. What hurts is the way people touch you and then disappear. The way they ask for your soul, but return only fragments. You say love is the wound, but maybe love was just the mirror. The wound was already there, and love only revealed it. Love is never what breaks you. It's the expectations stitched to its name, the fantasy, the role you had to play to be kept, the version of you that had to die just to be held. It hurts because you mistook attention for devotion. You mistook desire for presence. You mistook I need you for I see you. And every time you were needed but never seen, you bled quietly until your silence was mistaken for healing. Love doesn't hurt, but what we call love often does, because we don't love from wholeness. We love from hunger, from wound, from memory. You wanted a sanctuary, but they gave you a test. You gave them your chaos, but they only wanted your calm. So you shrink. You apologize for needing. You beg without speaking. And they say you're hard to love. But all you ever did was love too deep for shallow containers. Love hurts because you learned it from people who never healed. You watched your parents call silence peace. You watched affection disappear when rules were broken. You watched tenderness turn to distance. So now, you confuse chaos for chemistry. You chase what abandons you. You cling to what resembles the first wound. You think love is supposed to burn because calm feels like boredom and consistency feels like a lie. There's something absurd about it. You crave the very thing that scares you. You beg for closeness and run the second it arrives. You cry when they leave, but suffocate when they stay. You resent the ones who ignore you, but mistrust the ones who show up. Love hurts because your nervous system is still waiting for the next storm. Even when the sky is finally clear, you don't believe in safety because survival taught you how to breathe underwater, not how to rest. You thought love would be rescue, but it became rehearsal. Rehearsing how to be soft, how to be wanted, how to disappear at the right time. You loved them like a performance, every gesture a line, every silence a sacrifice. But love isn't meant to be a role. It's not meant to be earned or performed into permanence. It hurts because you were acting, while your soul begged to just exist. You ask yourself, why does love never stay? But the better question is, which part of you did you abandon to make it stay last time? You turned your boundaries into bridges. You traded your truth for tolerance. You wore their affection like armor. And still, you were left. So now, even love that feels safe feels like a trick, like the calm before a detonation. You brace for endings inside beginnings and wonder why you can't relax. You loved them with a wound, not a heart, because you didn't know the difference yet. You thought giving more would save it. That softness would fix betrayal. That being patient would change the story. But love doesn't rewrite the person in front of you, only your illusions of them. And when reality shows up, it's always too loud, too honest, too unromantic. You held on longer than they deserved, because you were hoping they'd become the fantasy. Love hurts, because somewhere along the line, we made it mean too much. Love became proof of worth, proof of survival, proof you're finally enough. But what if love is not a medal? Not evidence that you've healed? Not the prize for becoming someone lovable? What if love is just a mirror, and all it does is reflect how deeply you still abandon yourself? Go back far enough, And love meant giving up your needs to keep someone close. It meant staying quiet to avoid the storm. It meant shrinking so they wouldn't leave. You don't fear love. You fear the conditions it came with. You fear the performance it demanded. That's why love hurts now. Not because it's dangerous, but because it reminds your body of everything it had to become to survive. You said you wanted real love. But what you really wanted was to be understood without having to explain yourself. To be held without being soft first. To be kept without negotiating the terms of your worth. But they didn't see you. They saw their version of you. The one that smiled at the right time. That didn't ask too much. That didn't remind them of themselves. And when your realness leaked out, they called it too heavy, too much, too late. You begged for peace in the arms of a storm, hoping your love would quiet their rage, soften their distance, make them stay. But the storm wasn't yours to stop, and your love was never a cure. You became the medicine that numbed them, until they felt too whole to need you anymore. And when they left, you thought it was your fault, because love taught you to fix, not to feel. It's absurd, isn't it? How much you gave to people who never looked past your surface. How many nights you rewrote your soul to make someone else comfortable. You called it love, but it was really survival in disguise, because you didn't want love. You wanted not to be abandoned again. And that's not the same thing. What you thought was devotion was a fear response, the need to be chosen, no matter the cost. You became the person they could love, not the one you actually were. You shrank until your edges didn't bother them. You quieted the parts of you that asked hard questions. You stopped being vivid and called it healing. But healing doesn't require erasure. Only love that feels threatened by truth demands your silence. And the moment you tried to speak again, they left. Because they didn't love you. They loved your surrender. So yes, love hurts. But not because love is cruel. It hurts. Because what we chase isn't love. It's reenactment. It's repetition. It's the familiar ache we learn to call home. You're not broken for craving it. You were just taught that pain meant belonging. That suffering was connection. That love was something you earned by disappearing. But you don't have to disappear anymore.